What's up, guys? Welcome back to the You're Wrong podcast. Today we have our special guest, Jared Aubin. He's at school, that's why he hasn't been here, but he might be a regular moving forward. We don't know yet. It's kind of like a tryout for him. But I'm Kyle, this is Gavin. So we're here with the Week 5 outlook of the NFL. Going to talk about key matchups coming up, some headlines that happened in the past week. And then, we'll start with our beer rating like we usually do. So go ahead with that.
This week we let Kyle pick for the first damn time, and he got Pumpkin Blend from down east.
Can we explain why I picked those? I picked those because Jared doesn't drink beer.
I don't drink beer.
He's not a beer guy. So I had to pick like a cider. I'm not going to do a seltzer.
Loser.
So I had to pick like an in-between. So
Hey, look at this.
Beer's disgusting.
Have you ever seen 9 cans?
Real men.
This is a 9-pack. What in the hell is that? A 9-pack?
I didn't make it.
And what kind of artisanal decision?
What percentage is it?
5.1.
All right.
5.1.
5.1%. So we'll try these and give it a rating. But
9 cans.
So we got a couple of topics we're going to talk about today before we get to the key matchups. The first topic we're going to talk about is the London game, which is between the Jets and Falcons. Well, you start with that, Jared. Welcome to the show.
That is really sweet.
Very sweet. Very sweet drink.
Whoa.
We'll get to that later.
Talk about the Jets and Falcons game. What do you think? And the fact that they're playing in London.
Well, Calvin Ridley screwed me in fantasy. He might be dead to me. Just not traveling with the team. No Russell Gage. The Falcons' number one wide receiver other than Kyle Pitts is Amadeus Zaccheaus. I don't know if I said
Cordell
that right.
Patterson.
He's a running back, but
They split him out.
He's a 6'4".
whatever. But Amadeus Zaccheaus is listed as their number one wide receiver, whoever that is. He stinks.
But you still were going to pick the Falcons to win.
I still think the Falcons win that football game. Here's the thing. The Jets,
here we go. We're already going to start. We're 2 minutes in. We're already going to start.
Like,
Go ahead, say it.
The Jets just aren't a good football team.
Oh, my God.
They're not.
They're not yet. But when
I like Zach
week?
Wilson. I'm on the Zach Wilson train with you. They're just not a good football team.
What happens when they win this week?
They don't.
Okay, if they do, what happens?
I think they.
I'll eat my words, but I don't think they win that
the Jets
football
are a top 12 defense in the league right now.
And another thing, NFL wants to expand the game. Why are we sending two terrible football teams to London?
No, well, they always send garbage.
The Bills and Chiefs game. The Bills Chiefs game should be in London. If you want to expand the game.
No, that game should never go overseas.
Okay, I agree. I'm saying like a caliber, a game
give
that
the Americans.
Where is that game? Is that game in KC?
I believe it is in KC.
Oh, I can't wait to talk about that game later. Oh,
it is in Kansas.
But I like the Falcons. I mean, they both stink. That game's going to be like 17-14, and it's going to be unwatchable. Good thing they put it at 9:30 so no one can watch it.
I'm watching it. You're going to be here watching it.
You're a degenerate.
You're going to be here watching it.
That game is going to be terrible. Absolutely horrible. No reason. Don't even waste your time.
It's going to be a shootout.
That's all I have to say about
Wake up at 9:30 and watch the damn game.
It's going to be a hangover game.
That's exactly what it is.
It's going to be a hangover cure because it's going to be a hell of a football game.
No.
All right, so next topic we'll get to. I want to start with this one. So Jared's a Steelers fan. We probably should have said that. He's a Steelers fan. He's a Bucks fan for basketball. Let's go, Texas! Let's go. Give me some. We're watching Texas in the background. I've had them plus 3.5. They're currently up 21. But, so, he's a Steelers fan. He's a Bucks fan, Yankees fan.
Okay.
He is not big on Big Ben this year, obviously.
Big Ben.
I don't like him either. However, we're going to talk about whether Big Ben should be the starter moving forward.
No.
And you're not going to like this.
He shouldn't.
My answer is yes.
You're an idiot.
Dude
can't move.
I think he stinks, and I agree.
He can't move.
He has a history of arm injury. He can't move. Who else are you going to start, dude? Dwayne Haskins?
Pick up Cam Newton.
You're telling me Dwayne Haskins can be a better... Cam Newton doesn't fit in that system.
It doesn't matter. Anybody will fit in that system. You can put a 12-year-old out there as long as they don't trip over their own feet.
We're talking about this later?
No, we're talking about it now.
We're
talking about it now.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. You went out and you got Dwayne Haskins, see if he has anything. If he doesn't have anything, then you draft... Stop.
It's better than both of them.
In the system.
It doesn't matter. Their team is so bad.
If it doesn't work out, you go out and you go and get a different quarterback. I love Malik Willis. I can't wait for him to be in a Steelers uniform. But we'll get into that at a different time.
If you pick him over Sam Howell, you're a shit franchise.
But Dwayne Haskins,
Spencer Rattler.
at least he could have something. He was a first-round draft pick. He could have something in there. There could be something there that he didn't have in Washington.
I agree.
Give him a shot.
Got more options.
Ben Roethlisberger is a waste.
Okay, but here's the thing. You're 1-3. The season's not over. 17-game season. You're 1-3. Your season's not done.
Okay, they're 1-3, but then they play this week. They have the Broncos, who are 3-1. They're
not
going
to throw Dwayne Haskins against the top 5
but
defense in the league.
But then they play the
Yeah, but Big Ben
Seahawks.
can't do
Actually, they play the Seahawks now without Russell Wilson.
Yeah, start Dwayne Haskins that game, but Big Ben should be the starter this week against the Broncos. You're not going to throw Dwayne Haskins into the fire.
It's true. It's a tough defense. This week, I agree with you. But if he doesn't show me anything this week, there's no reason he should be the starter.
Here's the question I pose. What if I told you that I don't think Big Ben is to blame for the offensive woes as much as the lack of run game? You were 32nd in the league in rushing yards with, let me see how much you average per game. I wrote it down in my notes. 55 yards per game on the ground.
Well, because they don't run the football.
55. Okay, but then you can't complain about...
What are they in rushing attempts?
I don't know. I didn't check that.
Probably not.
Well, you probably should have checked that.
Well, you can't complain about Big Ben can't make his throws. Big Ben can't move.
Well, because he can't do any of it.
But you're still asking him to do it all the time. When you're averaging 55 rush yards, you got to take the ball out of his hands and pound the ball.
He just needs to fake
But
an injury.
the problem is,
what was the point of drafting Najee Harris?
The problem is,
What was the point of
right
drafting-
now they can't stretch the field to run the ball.
Why'd you draft Najee Harris if you can't run the ball?
Well, they
But
could if
how are they
throw
supposed
it.
to run the ball right now when all teams have to do is stack the box because they can't stretch the field because he can't make throws downfield?
True.
But you can't run the ball, and that takes away from the pass game. Because then they can
No,
spread everybody
no,
out.
no, no,
They
it takes
can go
away-
5-on-5. It works both ways.
Yes,
This argument works
yes.
both ways.
They can't stretch the
They
field.
literally
Okay,
can't
but
throw.
if they can just put 5 men in the box and you still can't run the ball, then they can take away you on the perimeter. You can't beat them. It works both ways. This conversation goes both ways.
It does, absolutely. The run game is bad. Don't get me wrong.
This is why you should have
Big
drafted
Ben
an
is
offensive
terrible.
lineman. You should have drafted an
Big Ben is
offensive
Yeah,
lineman.
let's draft Alex Leatherwood
Buddy,
over Najee Harris.
look at the Giants. They drafted Saquon second overall. They've gotten worse. They haven't gone anywhere. Running backs.
He did name
running backs.
a first
Running
round.
backs are a rotational spot.
Name
You
a
do not need
first
a big man
round.
running
Name a
back.
first round lineman other than Penei Sewell that's doing anything right now in the NFL. Anything. Kevin Jenkins, does he even
Rashawn
play?
Slater for the Chargers hasn't got a sack yet.
Okay, again, he was a top. He was a what? A top.
He was 14th.
Okay, exactly. The Steelers didn't pick.
I understand that.
The 22nd pick.
I understand that, but you can't say, "Oh,
So I don't-
like Landon Dickerson by who did he get picked by the Eagles?"
I agree. In the second round, they probably should have went lineman. They probably should have went lineman over Freiermuth. I think Freiermuth's the next George Kittle. We'll get into that at a different time.
He's good.
But there's no reason why you take a back end first round lineman when they all stink. None of them are that good. Tevin Jenkins, I don't even think doesn't even
but
play.
see, like Alex
You don't
Leatherwood.
pick a lineman in the first round. You just don't do that. You just don't do that.
Okay, that's a horrible
Nope,
take.
you don't do
Horrible
that.
take.
Never,
God, the game will forever be won in the trenches.
yeah,
The game will forever be won in the
I mean,
trenches.
what about like Quentin Nelson?
Okay.
Yeah.
On rare cases.
I would
So,
trade.
you draft the offensive lineman over skill
I would
position.
trade a
10 times
I would
over
trade a
10.
first
What's
round.
the
I would
quarterback?
trade a first round pick for Quentin Nelson right now.
Yeah.
I'd trade a
Buddy,
top 10 pick.
You'd have to
for
give
Quentin
up 3 first round picks to get Quentin
Nelson.
Nelson.
I'd give up a top 10 pick for him.
You'd have to give up 3
Two
first
of
round
them.
picks.
I'd give up 2 of them.
I mean, yeah, he's that dominant.
He's probably the best guard in NFL
I would
history.
never draft.
I mean, I wouldn't give him that yet,
Buddy.
but he's gonna. Yeah, I think he's gonna get there. He's disgusting.
If he stays
I'm with
healthy,
He's a man's man.
and the Colts are still winning that division.
So, back to the question. So, moving forward, this week, are you starting Big Ben if you're Mike Tomlin?
You have to.
Oh, so you guys switched up real quick.
No, I don't think they should, but they're going to. You can't
have
bench
to.
him. You
You have to.
He's been your quarterback for that long. It's like a respect
If
thing.
he
You're not benching him.
if he comes out like he does in every first half and if he throws 14 passes for 68 yards, I'm either not going to be living anymore or he needs to be changed. Like he is just. If I watch another first half of football where the Steelers don't even attempt to move the football, I'm going to die. Like it's so bad.
Spontaneously combust.
It is so bad. They don't even attempt. Like, nothing happens. Nothing. Last week, it's 14-7.
That's all game planning.
Somehow, they scored a touchdown on the opening drive last week. But it's 14-7. The Packers just scored 2 unanswered touchdowns, right? We get the ball back. Juju Smith-Schuster is wide open to walk into the end zone, and Ben Roethlisberger misses by 4 feet. Not even close. He wasn't even close. And that was when the game was over, right there.
Right.
The game would have been tied 14-14
And this
going into the tunnel.
And this is my whole argument. Like, if you have a quarterback that is inaccurate and he just came off elbow surgery and he's old and he can't move, you need to have a run game. You need to have a run game to take away some of the pressure on him.
Or then he get his ass
You can't
off
put the
the
ball in
field.
his hands as much as they are.
And then that's
my whole point.
There's this narrative going around, which I've been seeing from these.
Is it Mike Tomlin?
No,
I was gonna
it's the defense isn't that good. Don't even get me going.
That's a bad team.
The Steelers' defense is top 5, probably top 3 in my opinion.
That's just they fall victim to ball position.
And we're going to move on to our next topic because that was just a shit show of madness right there. Matt Ryan going to hit 5,000 completions
And
tomorrow,
no one cares.
most likely.
Why are we talking about this?
Because we're going to argue about you don't think he's a good quarterback at all.
I didn't say that.
Oh no, you don't think he's a good
No,
quarterback.
I said he's a Hall of Fame quarterback. He said he's not.
You said he's not good.
I said I'm not ready to give him Hall of Fame status yet. I mean,
what do you mean yes?
Stat-wise,
at this point, I mean he's not going to do much more than he's
career 65%, 56,000 yards, 355 touchdowns, 161 picks. So like his stats like
if he hits 400
they're Hall of
touchdowns, he's a
Famer.
Hall of Famer.
I would say so. I'm not saying he's not a Hall of Famer. I'm just saying right now I'm a little reluctant to say he's
That's a what?
first ballot.
That's about a
It's about a 2-to-1.
2-to-1 touchdown to pick ratio. That's not great.
That's what I'm saying. And what has he won besides one MVP? Dude, don't give me the whole he's been to a Super Bowl. You don't give consolation prizes.
He got
on
his
this
ass whomped in the Super Bowl.
Whoa.
In the second half. In the first half, he ran.
Kyle Shanahan.
That was
we'll touch on the 49ers later.
the most poorly coached game.
We'll touch on the 49ers later, but
True.
Kyle Shanahan is the most overrated coach in the NFL, other than Sean Payton, who I hate. But
It's an interesting take on that.
But
Shanahan's overrated now?
yes.
He had the Super Bowl with Jimmy G.
Okay.
That team was good.
And he blew it
I
again.
know.
He blew
That
it
team was
both
wicked
times.
good.
They would have won if Jimmy G could hit a fucking freaking post route.
He blew it both times. All you have to do is run the football. First of all, all you have to do is run the football.
Okay, Matt Ryan, Hall of Fame quarterback right now. Yes
Right
or
now,
no?
no. Right now, no.
Right now, I would say yes.
I would say yes as well.
Because he's on the trajectory. He's
Comment
on the
below.
trajectory.
Comment below on the YouTube video.
He's
if you
on the
think
trajectory.
Matt Ryan's a Hall of Fame quarterback
400
right
touchdowns.
now.
He's there.
All right, next
Next
topic. You go. Go ahead.
We got Russell Wilson and the Seahawks. Russell Wilson being out for 4 to 8 weeks now.
6 to 8.
6 to 8 weeks now. And then,
Yeah, after the surgery,
and then Jamal
6 to 8.
Adams because he's done nothing for the Seahawks.
I'll talk about Jamal Adams quick, and then we'll get out of the way, and then we'll talk about Russell Wilson. Jared tries to tell me all the time, I told you Jamal Adams isn't good. Yeah, Jamal Adams with the Seahawks is not good. With the Jets, he was a top 3 safety in the league because of the way the Jets used him. They used him as a box safety. You can't bring Jamal Adams out of the box. I'm sorry. You put him in coverage, he's one of the worst cover safeties I've ever seen in my life.
So just list him as a linebacker.
They should. I agree. That's the way the Jets used him. The Jets would walk him down in the box every single
But
play.
either way, as a linebacker, he has to have some. He has to be able to do anything in coverage, and he can't.
Well, in his career, he actually has fared pretty well against Gronk when he was at the Jets.
That's fine, but I watched him get fried by Tyler Higbee on that.
Yeah,
on that touchdown.
I know. But that's one play. You can't nitpick one play.
I can.
That was twice.
Because that was like
That was one play.
That
No,
kind
he
of
did- he beat
that
him
was
twice.
what stretched it to a 2-touchdown lead, if I'm not wrong.
I know, I
and
agree.
then the game never got that close.
I know,
again.
and he got spun around. And Deshaun Jackson deep ball,
He
that
just
could have
didn't-
been a pick.
He just didn't look good.
No, he's horrible in coverage. I agree, but you got to make him an outside linebacker. You have to.
He's
You
not,
have to.
He's not big enough.
He's terrible in coverage. He leads. He has the all-time record for most sacks by a defensive back.
Because he
But he's
blitz him a
not
lot.
a defensive back.
Yeah.
That's why he's called Blitz Boy. I know.
He can't be a defensive back.
Well, he
He's
is
not.
hard. But on to Russell Wilson. Let's talk about Russell Wilson. So, like Gavin said, he hurt his finger. He's out 6 to 8 weeks. My boy Geno Smith comes in. Geno Smith balled out. Kind of brought him back into the game, so he'll be the starter moving forward. What do you guys think?
Okay, if he's out for 6 weeks, how many games do they win?
I mean, I don't know what their schedule looks like, but
I'll pull it up.
I mean, they're not. I don't think they're a great team to begin with. Their defense is
Their
horrid.
defense is awful.
And Chris Carson being hurt doesn't really help. So I would say they maybe win 2 games out of the 6.
I agree with that. I don't think they were a good team to start with.
Yep.
It's the classic. The public bets them up every game, every year.
Here's my
And they get bet on way too
Everyone
much.
always thinks that
The Seahawks are going
the
to go out and go
Seahawks,
crazy.
because Russell Wilson plays superhero. Let's be real. If you want to look at it, I don't even have the stats in front of me, but I don't need them. Russell Wilson in the second half of football seasons is really bad, really not good. Like last
Okay, I
year,
got the schedule.
last year for fantasy wise, I believe he was the number 1 QB last year for the first half, and then like QB 12 in the second half.
I believe it.
Here, want the upcoming schedule?
Yeah,
Because they
just-
played
just list
Thursday,
them all.
obviously. Steelers,
Loss.
Saints,
Loss,
Jaguars,
win,
Packers,
loss,
Cardinals.
loss. Oh my God!
Was
Yeah,
that
they're
5?
on 1 game.
I think they beat the Saints.
We got the Washington football team for the 6th game.
Loss.
I think they beat the Saints.
That's in Washington on Sunday night.
I think the Saints stink.
I believe.
The Saints they're very hit or miss this year.
The Saints, I think, can beat that team though, just because of how bad the Seahawks defense is.
Yeah, I mean probably Oklahoma to the house
For the over. I don't think they're a good football team.
I think 2-4 is a fair assessment for.
They'll
those 6
probably
games.
finish either last or second to last in the NFC West. We'll touch on who
That's a good division.
We'll touch on.
I bet the Rams win the division, so that helps my bet.
We'll touch on who I think is the worst team in that
division. So we gotta get moving
Right.
here. So Stephon Gilmore to the Panthers. I'll touch quickly on it. Great acquisition. I've been on the Panthers all year. You know this if you watched the last couple episodes. I think it makes them even better. Now they got 2018 Defensive Player of the Year. When he comes back, he's healthy. He can teach C.J. Henderson, who they just traded for. And he can coach up J.C. Horn, who's their rookie. I think it's a great acquisition.
I think it was
love
19 he won Defensive Player of the Year.
I think it was 18-19.
I mean, yeah, he's really good.
I love it.
That defense is really good.
It only helps. It only helps.
I don't know what I'm getting from that offense every week though. Like I know you love Sam Darnold, but like look at last
If
week.
They didn't have
McCaffrey's
McCaffrey.
healthy, they're a top half offense.
I mean, McCaffrey probably will not play tomorrow.
He's doubtful.
So, but it's just I like what they're doing. I like the connection with Sam Darnold and DJ Moore. I thought it was going to be Robbie Anderson, not DJ Moore.
But you're telling me I drafted Robbie.
But I mean, that offense is Sam Darnold he's hit or miss, and you know he is.
He hasn't been this year. He actually is tied for a league lead in rushing yards, I believe, or rushing touchdowns.
Yeah, but I want my quarterback. I want my quarterback. You know how? Come on, the mold.
I understand.
We talked about the mold.
I understand, but I mean, it's not like he's struggling in the passing game. He's done very well.
No, but I don't. But the NFC is stacked, and I don't know. If
I'm not saying they're a contender, but I mean, right now, like it helps their defense.
They could beat any
This
team in the
also
league.
shows me that they believe they're a contender.
They could beat any team in the league.
They believe.
I love Matt Rule. I love what
I
he
do
does.
too.
I
And
love
Joe
what he
Brady.
does. But it's just I don't know.
They need another receiver.
The NFC is really tough. I think they need like
They need
a tight end.
They need another offensive lineman. They need a tight end, and they need
another wide receiver.
Christian McCaffrey healthy. All right, moving on. Key matchups. We'll get into our key matchups for the week. First one we'll talk about is the game everyone's talking about. Probably the game of the week. Bills at Chiefs. You want to start?
The Chiefs are going to smoke them. That's all I have to say about it.
I've told you guys before in previous episodes. When I mentioned Jared, this is what I'm talking about.
He says
He's a Bills hater. He hates the Bills, and I've been on him for 2-3 years, and he still doesn't like them. Probably because they beat the Steelers.
If we want to go through
He's a
the
Bills
teams
hater.
that the Bills have beaten, I believe it's a combined record of 5-11.
It doesn't matter. They're
Doesn't
not
matter.
just beating these teams.
You can't say
They are
that.
pile
You
driving
can't say
their
that
ass
because
around.
you always tell Tim you play who's on your schedule.
I do
Don't
say
be- that's
that.
hypocritical.
I do say that, but they lost to Ben Roethlisberger. I know it was,
That was week one.
I know it was week one, and then that defense. I understand they're the number one rated defense right now, but they played Davis Mills.
They're probably not the best defense in the league by any means. I agree, but they're a top 7 defense.
Love the over in that game, by the way. That game's going to go
56
way
and a half.
over. I think that's going to be like Rams Chiefs in 2018, I believe it was.
Yeah.
When it was
Jared
50,
Goff's,
when it was 54-51.
Jared Goff,
I think that game could contend with that many points that
The
game.
Chiefs have no defense. I think the Bills roll over them.
Whoa.
I'm torn. I'm torn here.
That was quick.
I'm not gonna give my own.
That was my standpoint on it.
I'm not getting my own
The
top
Bills are
torn.
going to roll train on them.
I don't know. I think it's gonna be a great game. It's gonna be a huge game, a
Run train.
huge prove-it game for the Chiefs defense.
I think the Chiefs win by 2 touchdowns.
Let me tell you this. I think if
I
the
don't like
Chiefs,
the Chiefs
if the
defense.
Chiefs
No
defense gets
confidence.
rolled over this week, I think you have to start knocking the Chiefs down in your power rankings
I
and
don't
say
have
they're probably not
confidence
in
in
their
Well,
team.
they're not top 10 in the ESPN power rankings, I don't think.
Well, the ESPN sucks, dude.
You're right.
If you watch ESPN over Fox Sports, you don't know what you're doing.
ESPN is just all political.
All
dude.
it's
It's a
all
joke.
politics.
It's
It's
so annoying.
Yeah, it's
But what I'm saying is, like, say the Bills go out and score 43 points or 44 points, or they roll over them. Like, that to me is like, okay, the Chiefs are not a contender anymore.
No.
Because, yes, you still have the high-powered offense you have Pat Mahomes, but if you can't ask Pat
I mean,
Mahomes.
you know how I feel about Honey Badger. I've never been sold on him.
Right.
He makes big plays.
That's just one player.
He makes big plays.
But they don't have. It seems like they can't stop the run.
Their defense isn't
Put it
consistent.
this way. Put it this
They're
way.
30th in passing.
If the Bills are able to run all over them, because the Bills have no run game.
Jalen Hurts threw for 350.
If the Bills can
Jalen Hurts.
if the Bills can run all over
Jalen Hurts.
if the Bills can run all over them, I'm hitting the panic button big time. Because Zach Moss
Is
is
Devin
like,
Singletary.
is like slower than me and you.
Yeah. Well, maybe you.
Probably me.
Probably me.
That's bad.
Probably
Just look
me
at me.
too.
But
Not faster.
I just I don't know that run game.
So let's give our picks. So you think Chiefs?
I think the Chiefs win
You
that
think
game.
Bills?
I think it's a prove-it game for the
You
Chiefs.
think the Bills win?
It is a prove-it game, but
I
I don't
think
think they're going to prove it.
I think it's a prove-it game too, but I'm going to go with the Chiefs just because
But it's a prove-it game for the Bills, too. Like Jared said,
Yeah,
they
it
haven't
is.
really played
It is, but I think
best teams.
I think for the Chiefs.
I think that game's gonna be. It's a 4:25 game, right?
I still have a
national TV.
Yeah,
yes.
I still have a hard time
Game of the
picking
week,
against. Game of the week for Fox is Cowboys Giants.
They're always is.
All right, so that's our picks for the Bills Chiefs. So the next game we're going to talk about is the Chargers Browns. I'll start on this one. I think the Browns win. I know it's a very hot take, but I need you guys to hear me out real quick. Right? He hates this take. He's a big Browns hater. Interdivision team. I get it. Hear me out. I got 2 points to make. First point: Chargers are coming off beating the Chiefs in Arrowhead. Huge game, huge statement win. They just beat the Raiders, who were undefeated, who everyone thought was a contender. Proved they were frauds. Huge win. They're coming off.
They were frauds.
They are frauds. We'll get into that later.
I think they stink too.
I told you guys that from the beginning.
Kick rocks.
So that's a big win against the Chiefs. Big win against the Chargers. This is a huge game for them. Do I think they can do? I think they're a contender, yes. But to have 3 big statement wins in a row is very difficult to do in this league. And then my second point. The Browns are second in the league in rushing yards. Obviously one of the best offensive lines in the league, Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb. The Chargers are 29th in rushing yards against. I think it's a matchup nightmare for the Chargers. And the Browns, so obviously the Chargers want to throw the ball, that's what they want to do. The Browns are 3rd in passing yards against. So that's my take. I think the Browns, they're going to be my best bets later. I'll talk about it when we get into it later, but I want to hear what they have to say.
Go ahead, Gavin.
Hey, I'm riding with the Browns, too.
My guy.
I have 2 words, bud, and you know who they are.
Baker Mayfield.
Austin Eckler.
Oh.
I love Austin Eckler. Everything about him is perfect. He's got that perfect bald head. He's perfect in the run game. He's perfect in the pass game.
You want his
Take
phone?
his over.
You want his phone number too?
Take his over in receptions. Take his over in
Don't do
receiving
that.
yards.
Jared has said that for the last 2 weeks and has not hit either
And
of them.
take
Do
his
not do
over
it.
in touchdowns. That man, I think this is an Austin Eckler game. I know the Browns are good against the run. I think that he's going to get out in the pass game. And I love Austin Eckler.
You want to talk? Go ahead. He cut you off. Go ahead.
No, I agreed with what you said.
Yeah, that's it.
I think Baker Mayfield shows out, though. I think he's a good game.
That's the only thing.
I like Baker Mayfield. He needs to
I
have
like
a blowout
him too.
game. He's gonna.
I think that's
I
why.
think
The
this week-
line opened up. It opened up Browns plus 1.5. Now it's at 2.5. And I think
Don't move the point.
that's good line movement before Sunday comes around. So
is.
I think that people are
Does it
going to
just
bet the
move
Chargers because obviously
last
Herbert. I'm a big Herbert guy, but then they see Baker. They're like, all right, Baker can't compete with Herbert. And do I agree? Not necessarily. Like Baker, yeah. Like sometimes, like last week, looked like shit, and I get it. Like I don't think he's going to go out and win you big games, but he's also like he's going to get you in positions to where
The Chargers are home in this game, right?
Yes. Browns are on the road.
So the Browns fans.
But there's no real Chargers fans in
Do Browns fans really travel that well?
No, but there's no real
That's what I'm
fan
saying.
base
There's
for
no
the
fan
Chargers.
base for the Chargers.
Chargers home
gonna be-
games
it's like
don't-
basically a neutral
they're not
site.
real home.
Yeah, I get
It's
that.
basically a neutral
I
site.
get that. When it comes down to it, I'm not as big as a Herbert fan as Kyle is, but I trust Justin Herbert more to get things done than Baker Mayfield.
100%.
For now,
I
yeah,
100% do
I mean,
too.
I agree
But all I'm
with
saying
that.
is, like, based off the stats I just gave you in the matchup, I just think it's a great matchup for
I
the
think the
Browns.
Browns have it.
I think they take the game out of Baker Mayfield's hands and they say, Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt, go win us this ball game.
The problem is Odell's back, and I think it's proven that the Browns' offense is worth with Odell Beckham Jr. on it.
I don't
Worse?
like Odell Beckham
No,
Jr.
so Dom,
I think
our boy
he's
Dom,
so overrated.
our boy Dom is a huge Browns fan now. He was a Giants fan before, and now he's a Browns fan. Don't ask me how it happened. Sorry to call you out, Dom. Sorry to call you out. I know he's not going to watch this, but so I was texting Dom. And I was like, dude, like it just seems like whenever Odell comes back and he's healthy, that Baker just stinks. And he was like, oh, you can't blame Odell for the way Baker plays. I'm like, I'm not blaming him saying, oh, he missed his throw because of Odell. But I think when Odell's on the field, you listening?
Yeah.
I think when Odell's on the field, I think Baker tries to be more perfect and says, I need to force feed this guy the ball, and it doesn't let him play.
Well, because Odell's a drama queen and complains.
Like the best season we saw from Baker yet was the year last year when Odell was out.
Yeah, but if you look at it,
I don't like
weeks 1 and 2, the Browns' offense was like potent. They were scoring points.
That's what I'm saying.
And then they go out and they play the Vikings last week, and the Vikings defense is not good at all. And they scored 14 points. Holy
Yeah, I know.
shit. Like, what are we doing? And the over is great in this Oklahoma
nice
game,
trick
by the
play.
way. I hope you all took it. That's a great game.
I
Great over.
I have Texas plus 3.5. I'm looking okay right now. A lot of points.
But that's my take on the Browns.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see,
It's
but
fair.
we'll talk about it again in our best bets later. So next matchup we got, our third matchup out of the 4 we picked, Cardinals-Niners. You want to start with this one?
Yeah. Like last week, I think the Cardinals are just too good of a team. Like, they beat the Rams, obviously. Their offense played outstanding. Their defense stopped the Rams' offense from doing a lot. They really got to Matt Stafford, for the most part, in my opinion.
Yeah, he looked rattled that game.
He did. They kept pressuring him.
He didn't look good against the Seahawks either.
Yeah, that was...
I was texting you about that.
So, Trey Lance is starting in this game, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Jimmy
that
G,
hurts
Jimmy
them
G's out
bad.
for a little bit.
So, I was big on Isaiah Simmons. I think Isaiah Simmons has a nice game. So, Isaiah Simmons, I was big on out of the draft
in
last
college,
year.
you were back on Clemson.
But I love Clemson, but they're
terrible
whatever.
now.
So I think because you can use him pretty much anywhere on the field, I think they're going to use him in different
you could.
ways and try and confuse Trey Lance a little bit. And I
As they
think,
should.
and I
You
think
can't start Trey Lance against.
They should disguise
against
coverage
the
every play.
Cardinals.
Yeah,
the
that's-
Cardinals
that's
defense is unbelievable.
that Cardinals,
Yeah, but, like,
the Chris
it's-
like that pass rush.
Yeah.
I
They're
like
gonna
it.
rattle
I like
his
what they
ass.
do. I like what they do.
J.J. Watt, Jalen
Jalen
Jones.
Jones.
I haven't heard JJ. I haven't been watching too many Cardinals.
I
games,
haven't really
to be
heard
honest
either,
with
but
you.
it's his presence. You know, it's that
Yeah.
presence.
Yeah.
Lining up and seeing
And
the
I
field.
personally, I think the Niners are not good at football, so I like the Cardinals.
Yeah, I don't think the Niners are
What's
that
the
great
spread of
either.
that game?
Their defense
it's
is
five.
good,
I
but
think
it's
it's
5.5.
Oh yeah, I
Five
haven't.
and a half. I'm not going to touch that
five. It's just
betting-wise.
five.
So if we're going to go through our picks, what are we picking?
That's one of my best bets, actually. The Cardinals, like you just mentioned that right now. Cardinals
Okay.
minus 5.
What are you picking in that game?
I think that's easy.
I think the Cardinals. I don't know if they cover 5. It's an interdivisional game.
I think they'll definitely cover 5.
I think the Cardinals win the game though.
Dude, they beat
I was
the,
gonna say the
they
same
beat
thing.
the Rams by what last week?
I'm with Jared.
Double
dude. I think
digits.
they win.
Yeah,
the
but
game.
after that's a big win.
I think
coming off a really
that
high.
But the
line-
Niners
that-
aren't going to move the
That
ball.
line to me tells me says, hey, rookie quarterback, 5.5 points, hammer the Cardinals, which makes me think the 49ers are going to cover, backdoor cover. But I mean, we'll see.
Fair.
I think
Vegas
it-
doesn't lose.
I think it's going to be an okay game.
I don't enjoy watching 49ers games. I just don't find it fun.
They're like the Spurs.
Yeah, they literally.
If
are.
I, if
They
I, if
really
I
are.
compare a team,
fundamental football,
if I compare a team to the Spurs, it's the 49ers,
That is very
and it's
true.
a snooze fest.
it is. It's good football. It's good football for like a guy like me who likes to look at tape and stuff. But like even so, like just watching the game.
It's
Is
better than I was watching the tape.
Yeah, way to watch tape.
No, I'm
Congrats.
a nerd. I enjoy it. I'm nerdy about that stuff. So our last matchup we picked is the Fox game of the week: Giants versus
Shouldn't be.
Cowboys. You want to start with this, Jay?
I've been on record. I think the Giants are the least talented team in football.
More so than the Jets.
Yeah.
Good answer.
Like, other than Saquon and maybe Shepard, Kenny Galladay, I was never
Shepard's
high on.
out. Shepard's out.
Even okay, then the Cowboys are going to win that game. All I'm going to say is the Cowboys are going to win that game, and it might not be close.
The
7-point
Cowboys are
line.
a good team.
I would take the 7 points. I'm probably not going to bet it. It's a division game, but I would take the 7 points there.
I might bet that, yeah. I know, I think the
Cowboys?
Giants... Yeah.
Or should I say I would?
I think Saquon
I would
has a
take
decent
Cowboys.
game. I think Saquon plays pretty well. Daniel Jones, played well last week.
Daniel Jones has actually played really well this year. I'm not gonna lie. I hate him. I think he's terrible. But this year he's played.
I'm going
well.
to touch on Daniel Jones playing well last week. I'm my best bets, but I'll get on that.
Okay, well I'll give my say. I think the Cowboys win.
Yeah,
I think their defense is playing really well. I think Dan Quinn is kind of revitalizing.
Who's the other corner opposite of Diggs?
That's a good question. I don't know. I like a Quandre, or not, isn't that it's Trayvon Diggs? And then Micah Parsons is wreaking havoc, bro.
Yeah, he's good.
Like, I don't know why they cut Jalen Smith though. Like, why would you cut Jalen Smith in the middle of you're 3-1? You're doing really well. You're playing really
It
well.
could have been like a locker room thing.
No, I think it was a finance thing. But like, why? Why not wait till the end of the year to cut him?
Well,
Like, it's not you're going to use that money for somewhere.
Where did he go? Where did he end up?
Green Bay.
that's what I'm thinking. It was a locker room thing.
But and Emmanuel Acho, he tweeted.
You're not cutting someone who helps you in the middle of the season over a finance problem.
That's what it was though. And Emmanuel
That's
Acho
what they
wasn't-
said it was.
Was it? Was it?
That's
he,
what people
he was.
think
He was
it is.
playing, wasn't he?
He was playing, yeah.
So then,
and now that he's
but a
now that he's
financial
out,
problem, you would wait till the end of the year.
That's
Yeah,
what
that's
I'm
why
saying.
it's not a financial
They
problem.
said, I'm telling you what they
It's
said.
a lot. Yeah,
They
no,
said it was
that's
financial.
just an excuse.
But like now
instead
you're
of
going to
saying
ask
he's a
Michael
locker room
Parsons.
issue.
You're going to ask Michael Parsons to fill in Jalen Smith's shoes and play his spot as defensive end, which he's been playing the last 2 weeks. So now you're gonna ask him to do way too much as a rookie. So now it could screw up that whole defense.
Yeah.
But I am not worried about I'm not worried about the Giants. Like I said, I mean they can't. I don't think if we did a 3-man rush, us three, I think we're getting to the quarterback on the Giants.
Just attack Andrew Thomas and Nate Soldier. That's all you
Like
gotta do.
Nate Soldier's about
Soldier.
58.
Soldier.
He's about 58
Soldier,
years old.
Soldier, either way.
Doesn't
he's
even
not
matter.
He can't move.
I don't even care what his name is because he's irrelevant.
He's horrible. He's horrible.
He's like, what is he, 6'7", 2 or 3?
He's like, isn't he like? 50?
I don't care how big he is. He's like a
yeah,
meatball.
he's got it.
He was good on the Pats, and then he went to the Giants.
Yeah, that was like 10 years ago.
That was 4 years ago?
All right, so
3 years ago.
we'll wrap up our key matchups. Who are you going to pick in that game? Cowboys?
Cowboys.
Cowboys across the board. You know what that means. Bet the Giants probably. All right, so now we'll get to our best bets. Speaking of betting, Jared, with our guest appearance, let's start with your guest bets. What do you got? Your best bets.
I love the Jaguars. I know there's the locker room issue going on with Urban Meyer. I don't care. The Tennessee Titans are the most overrated team in
Do you
football.
want to touch on your Urban Meyer take too, by the way? Do you want to touch on that?
He went to a bar. I can't get into it. I'm not going to get into it. I don't want to
Why
get blasted.
You're not going to
But-
get blasted. You'll be all right.
He went to. I don't think he cheated on his wife. That's clear. But why is he?
Well, we don't know if he cheated on his wife. We don't know.
But well, I mean, come on, bud. But
It's a gray area.
But why are they like, oh my God, he needs to win back the locker room? Like all those dudes in that
players don't care.
all those dudes in that locker room are cheating on their wife. Like let's be real.
I would say more than half of them, yeah, probably.
Like I understand he's supposed to be the face of the franchise, but you just drafted the face.
No,
of the
Trevor
franchise.
Lawrence
It's not like you broke any laws or anything.
No.
You didn't do anything illegal.
Like yeah,
It's
it's
like
like
stay out of the
personal
people
life.
are like,
Stay out of
oh,
personal
people are
life.
like, oh, he missed the plane and did that instead. Well, who
he
cares?
got-
They played on Thursday. It's not like they practiced
Right.
Friday and Saturday.
he got permission from the president to
like
say
what's
that.
the yeah?
It was at his state.
And then Shad Khan comes out. Shad Khan, you haven't done anything as the owner of the team.
That's what I was talking about. The president of the team, or
Yeah, he hasn't done anything, and he's like, I'm expected to listen to what he has to say.
yeah, he needs to earn my trust back. Like, you're the one who hired him.
On a different note, I love the Jaguars. I know they're without Chark. I love Chenault.
That makes them better, in my opinion.
I love Chenault. Chenault's averaging, I think,
Chenault's gross, dude.
4.6 yards per reception or yards
I wanted Chenault in all my
per
leagues
catch.
this year.
And I think that gets boosted this week. I think they attack that secondary because it's terrible.
Very bad.
I like the Jaguars. I think they could win outright. Sprinkle that money line. You know what I'm saying? And then I also love the Washington football team. I said I was going to talk
Who are
about
they playing?
the New Orleans Saints.
Dude.
I was going to. I said
Saints are like an every-
I said I was going to talk
He picks
about.
the teams and hates them.
I said I was going to talk about how Daniel Jones played well last week. I think that the Saints secondary, sans, that means without, Marshawn Lattimore, if you wanted to know.
What do you say?
I said sans, which means without Marshawn Lattimore, is really bad.
What does that mean?
What is
Are you
it?
confused as I am?
What was the point of? What was the
I
point
don't
of
know.
saying it? Okay, whatever.
I
That
think
was-
that
that was weird.
I think the secondary is not that good. And I told Kyle yesterday I'm out on Ryan Fitzpatrick and I'm all the way in on Taylor Heineke, XFL for life. I like Terry McLaurin. I think Terry McLaurin.
You love Terry McLaurin.
I think he's a top 7 wide receiver in football,
Oh my god. Oh my god.
and I love
That's
the Washington football team.
You want to try to name 7 better right here while we're at it? We got time.
You can start.
Tyreek Hill,
Yep.
Okay.
Devontae Adams,
Yep.
DeAndre Hopkins.
Yes.
Mhm.
Let's see. I'm trying to.
Keep going. You can do it.
Amari Cooper.
Yes. I can agree with that.
I mean, if
Maybe. Maybe.
Yeah, I like
guess.
that. I'll take that.
Maybe.
Calvin Ridley.
Yes.
Yeah. Is that
I want,
5?
I want to say Justin Jefferson, but I'm not going to say it.
Oh,
Say DK Metcalf and someone.
Stephon Diggs.
I was gonna say, yep.
Is that 5 or 6?
That's 6.
Cooper Cup?
No.
I wouldn't say.
I think you
Cooper Kupp is a product of his environment this year.
He's been that every
I'm
year.
not going to say DK Metcalf, but
DK
there's
Metcalf
definitely, there's
is
definitely
like-
one more.
Terry McLaurin has never had a quarterback in his career, and he's never had a wide receiver opposite him other than Curtis Samuel last week.
I would put-
And look what he did last week.
I would put DJ Moore ahead of Terry McLaurin.
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna try to defend myself on that because that's just an egregious
As
take.
he shouldn't.
Egregious.
I think it's a good take.
Egregious.
The stats probably line up to prove it.
Blasphemy. All right. Okay, Jared, you good? With yours?
That's all I got.
All right. I'm gonna ride with the Cardinals again. -5. I like the Cardinals a lot. I think the Niners got nothing. don't
I
know.
agree with that.
I think that's just easy.
I think that
I think they'll beat them by 14 or more. I think that -5, it's not even going to help them. 5 points, I think they blow them out. And I'm going to ride with the Raiders.
they have.
They have. We just looked at that actually.
You know who the Raiders are playing?
Jesus.
Bears. It's the Bears.
The Bears.
Sorry.
Oh,
I had a little bit of a stroke there.
that pass rush against that whatever Matt Nagy's doing.
Yeah, but Justin Fields, you trust him yet?
No.
That's
That's
why
the
he's done it.
reason I don't trust him yet.
That's why I just said the pass rush.
Oh, I thought you were saying the Bears pass rush.
The Bears pass rush is like non-existent anymore.
Exactly.
I know. Which makes
That's
some
why
sense with Khalil Mack and...
That's why I think that's a 5.5 point spread. I think the Raiders can do that. I think their offense is good enough. I think that's a pretty solid bet.
You done?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right, like I said, I got Browns now at 2.5. I was going to do 1.5 either way. I'll probably wait till it gets to 3 or buy it at 3. I think it's a matchup nightmare for the Chargers. Take the Browns plus 3. They might win outright. And then my last bet, Christian McCaffrey not playing kind of hurts us, but I still like it anyway because the Eagles are like 28th in rushing defense. Panthers minus 3. Take it to the house. I'm not bought in on Jalen Hurts. I think he stinks. I know Gilmore's not playing yet, but that Panthers defense is legit. Browns plus 2.5. Panthers minus 3. Meet me at the window.
Rating. Guess goes first.
I mean, it's all right. It's very sweet.
I'd like to reiterate it's a cider.
Is he a guest though? I don't know if he's really a guest.
What's the
For
scale?
now.
Like
For now.
5 or 10.
It's like
1
a
to 10
from school.
It's a cider. It's pumpkin apple.
6-1.
Ooh.
What's your take?
It's just way too
So
sweet.
sweet.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a 5-7. I would drink it if you gave it to me, but like I'm not gonna go out of my way to buy it ever again. It's just way too sweet.
The alcohol percentage is decent. That's where I stand on that. the flavor is just. I mean, I'm not.
16 grams of sugar. I could have told you
Yeah,
that
you're
one.
gonna-
It tastes like
You can taste the sugar.
yeah.
3.6. I didn't
God.
like it.
Oh my God.
It feels like they just took all the
It tastes
spices
like
of the
pixie
pumpkin
sticks.
and dumped it in the
Yeah,
can.
with a little bit of apple cider in there.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not
I mean it's
very
good, but like yeah.
Down East has a good apple cider one that's also
Yes.
very sweet.
Down East is good overall, but this is
It
just.
is. But all right, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next episode on the Week 5 recap. And Jared probably won't be here, so
Yeah, I gotta go back to school.
thank God.